if there is no right and no wrong? What? Of course there's right and wrong. I've just spent 2 minutes trying to fiddle with the camera angle, try and get it right. Okay, so maybe right and wrong do exist, but maybe they're not defined in the way that's of any help to anybody. How about if right and wrong were specific to you? What's right for me, for who I am, for my uniqueness, for my essence? What if right for me was having a packet of biscuits for breakfast? What's unhelpful are the rules. What's unhelpful are it's always bad to have a packet of biscuits for breakfast. Because then we get stuck. We get lost. We stop connecting to what we feel, what we know is right for us. And all those rules, they water us down. They bring us to an average, which means nothing to anybody. It's meaningless. There might be snippets of time when the average is truly right for you, and you'll get a sense that this is life, this is living, this is me as all of me living in this moment. But then in trying to align to the average, the majority of your life is going to be you pulled away from exactly who you are. Oh God, this sounds hard. The title of this video, There's No Right, No Wrong, made me feel safe, made me feel soothed. And now, as you're talking, I'm connecting into the graft and how hard it might be to feel, to get to all of me. Well, this is where you're wrong. This is where it's so right to be all of you. This is where it's so easy to be all of you. Far easier than trying to align to the average that doesn't exist. It's like you're trying to align to something that you can't see and you can't feel, and you just know it's somewhere around here, and then you think you're on the right path and someone goes, no, that's not right, and you go, oh yeah, I know, it's over here somewhere. How about if right always felt the same? And I don't mean that the experience of the life when you're living all of you feels the same. Of course not, because that's not living. But when you are you will find the connection to you that feels the same. You will find a familiarity, because you is you. You knows you better than anybody else. That's why with a pinch of salt we go, okay, I understand your advanced intelligence. I understand your knowledge around this subject. I understand that you've studied it. But you've studied it for the average. You haven't studied it for me. Maybe you're a nutritionalist and you know that cane sugar is bad and it does this to the body and that's not helpful and da-da-da-da-da. And your knowledge is invaluable, because there were times where I thought that was an energy buzz or some vitality in me, and now I just understand it's the kick of the sugar. Your intelligence, your knowledge is helping me to understand me, but only if I connect to me in those moments. Because what if all rules were off the table? What if I said to you that there were times where having a biscuit could be the most nutritious thing for you? I can feel the energy of some of you going, no. But if you start to redefine right and wrong, if you start to say that right is simply me living my life as me, and that will not be the same as anybody else, because you are gloriously unique. You are needed to be unique. You are not living as all of you if you're not living in your uniqueness. Now, carefully not to swing the other way. Brilliant, Bryony says I can go and eat a packet of biscuits for breakfast. Maybe. But you've got to navigate that. Does it feel good? Potentially not. Well, then you're not lining to all of you. And I know I'm giving you a silly example, but you can feel the thread of this, the thread of this truth. Maybe you can feel my energy and how it's trying and calling you and desperately trying to unhook you from the habitual patterns that you have ground so deeply into your life that it's now becoming a little impossible to even feel you. It's almost a bit like you're lost in the wood those trees of rules, societal rules, the things that we know, the things that are good, the fact that we get up and get on and I work out and I drink water and I do this and I tick these boxes, all those things that you know have been told are good for you. What if what felt good was different for you? What if what feels good is constantly calling you back to you? Allow my energy now to untether you from those things that you're thinking are you, from those rules which are telling you what's good for you. And instead, now, start to feel good. And good will feel different for each and every one of you. But good will always call you to you. So if you're stuck physically in a body that is not as healthy, as pain-free, as mobile as you want it to be, I say align to what feels good. If you're stuck in a life that you no longer want to live, if you're stuck with choices that you've made which don't fill your soul up and bring you peace or joy or happiness or fulfillment or passion or play or fun, then I say align to what feels good. Break the rules. If you're stuck living a life with deep anxiety, with a sadness that you can't quantify or qualify, this is not why you came here. You came here to live life, people. Life is for living. You came here to live life, and the only way that you can max out your life experience is by living as you. Living in a way that only you can. And that doesn't mean that you have to be the president. That doesn't mean you have to be a change maker. What that means is that you bring you. And this is what's best for your life. Because you are going to feel good in that life. And you are going to call more feel good. Like attracts like. And you're going to start to saturate in the fact that life truly is for living. And here I am experiencing this physical life as only I can. And in those experiences where you're living as truly you, oh, that is living, people. And from those experiences, you're going to be able to connect to what? To you, to God, to life is for living. You're going to be able to connect to those around you that you deeply love and know, or those who you energetically cross paths with. And in that connection, you're going to call each other to more experience of living life as you. And to live life as you, there are no rules for that. Life is not a better experience if the rules are generic for everybody. If there is ever a part of your life or a time in your life or a situation in your life where there are generic rules for a group of people, take those rules with a pinch of salt. Feel your way into them. Love them. Appreciate that they're helping to guide you. But it's more a range in which you can bounce off the walls and reverberate and feel where you live within that range. Because life is for living, people, and you're only going to get that if you live as truly you. Life is for living, people, and you have a responsibility to those around you to bring you. Ain't no one else can do what you do. And there are people in your life who came to this physical experience wanting to experience it with you. Wanting you to bring the you. Maybe to call them to their you. So show up. Show up for you. Show up as you. Show up for those around you. We all need you to be you. So break the rules. And within those rules, find you. There is no right or wrong. There's just truly you.